The Tale of the 9 Days Queen. Imagine being crowned queen at just 16 years old, and losing your throne in only 9 days. In the summer of 1553, England was restless. The air carried whispers of betrayal, ambition, and fear. At the center of it all stood a young girl barely 16 years old whose fate would write one of the shortest and most tragic reigns in history. Her name was Lady Jane Grey, later remembered as the 9 Days Queen. Jane was no ordinary girl. Born into nobility, she was highly educated, fluent in Latin and Greek, and deeply devoted to her Protestant faith. She loved her books more than jewels, her prayers more than dances. But she was also caught in the storm of politics she never asked for. King Edouard, says the young son of Henry VIII, lay dying. He was only 15, but he feared that his Catholic half-sister Mary would undo his Protestant reforms. To prevent this, powerful nobles around him, especially the Duke of Northumberland, pushed forward a plan. Edward's Protestant cousin, Lady Jane Grey, should be queen instead. Jane never sought a crown. When the news was brought to her, she is said to have trembled and wept, declaring herself unworthy. But ambition was stronger than her tears. The nobles insisted, her family pressured her, and soon as July 10, 1553, she was crowned Queen of England. Yet the people did not rise for her. They wanted Mary, the true daughter of Henry VIII. Across the land, support for Mary swelled like a rising tide. Within days, the council that had declared Jane queen turned against her. By July 19th, only 9 days after she was proclaimed, her reign was over. Jane and her young husband were imprisoned in the Tower of London. At first, Mary wished to spare her, but rebellions and threats convinced the queen that Jane's very existence was dangerous. And so, in February 1554, the order was given. On the morning of her execution, Lady Jane Grey walked calmly to the scaffold. She held a small prayer book, her voice steady, though her hands trembled slightly. Turning to the crowd, she declared, "I die a true Christian woman, and I do look to be saved by no other means but by the mercy of God." Then, blindfolded, she searched for the block with her hands, whispering, "Lord, into thy hands I commend my spirit." Moments later, the axe fell, and England's 9 Days Queen became a martyr in history. Her reign had lasted just long enough to be remembered yet, short enough to remind the world of the cost of ambition, the fragility of power, and the tragedy of innocence caught in the web of politics. The story of Lady Jane Grey teaches us that crowns can be heavier than they appear. True greatness lies not in power or titles, but in the strength of faith, dignity, and courage even in the face of death.